Yeah, just
You can edit it later as well. Yeah. Guys, we are actually in Paris Blockchain Week, and we thought probably, the stage is empty, so I thought we should just take a, benefit of this and then interview this, the amazing two gentlemen actually come all the way from, one is from
3 hours
three.
drive.
Oh yeah, here you go. 3 hours drive. So
You're the
I'm the one.
boss.
I'm the one who actually has come from San Francisco all the way. So I really want to take this initiative to talk to them and understand about how they see tokenization happening in Europe, right? I mean, because we as Zoniqx. So let me introduce you to to me to you guys as well about what we do. So Zoniqx is predominantly a tech infrastructure platform, a company based out of Silicon Valley. We are based out of Menlo Park, and we've been in this space since 2017. Just to simplify things, we actually help institutions to actually put their assets on chain and use the entire TALM, which is tokenization asset lifecycle management flow with Zoniqx. That in 48 hours you can literally put your assets on chain, and to actually validate what we actually have made. We have these two amazing gentlemen in front of me, sitting next to me, and they are going to talk about their journey with Zoniqx and their journey in doing this whole tokenization since past so many years. So I'm going to pass it on to Daniel, and then and let them explain you about what they do and how amazingly they are actually kind of sitting here next to Mona Lisa, whatever it is, and in the Paris Blockchain Week, and telling you their experience. So yeah.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Yeah, I'm Daniel from StegX. We are building a marketplace ecosystem for real assets with a focus on real estate. My background is traditional finance. Beforehand, my co-founder Marcus and myself, we are working already together since almost 15 years. And in this journey, we have worked a lot with institutional players, asset managers and investors. And we have seen that especially the real estate market is still like a dinosaur. Everybody knows that it will be extinct one day, but nobody's doing something to really change it. And now we are building the solution to change it together with Zoniqx, with a lot of other players in the market to shape the industry for the real estate market. And that's the first step of all is how to actually tokenize or digitize the investment structure. Because we believe when an investment structure is digital, then the asset managers have all the needs and tools to distribute their assets on a global scale. And when we know what we are now working on integrating more digital money solutions into the ecosystem, we can exchange digital assets or digitize assets to be more precise with digital money or digitized money like CBDCs, stable coins, digital forms of money to exchange assets and money on a global scale in a very efficient manner. And I think Eni is a very good example how it would benefit not only the big players in the industry, but also players from markets which were previously untapped. So I hand it over to Eni.
thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you, Daniel. So my name is Eni T-Blocks. So we are the first tokenization marketplace in Albania and the Balkans region. So the biggest problem with our region is that there is no technology infrastructure, there is no capital markets, there is no way for professional, qualified, global investors to tap into this high growth emerging economy and invest in the safest and biggest asset class, which is real estate. So we as Albania, we share the same coastline with Italy, Greece and Croatia. Now, when we look at Croatia, Croatia joined European Union 10 years ago. What happened after they joined European Union? The real estate assets, specifically those by the sea, the price skyrocketed 10x. Why? Because all global investors, they could come in, European funds, they could come in and they could invest. Now, we estimate that Albania and the Balkans region will join European Union in the next 5 to 7 years, but there is still a big gap. There is no institutional investors, there's no global investors coming and investing into this big asset class. So we have in pipeline together with Zoniqx, with StegX. Actually, Daniel was in Albania 1 year ago. We met some of the biggest asset developers in Albania. We went in the site, we saw the big projects, the beautiful 5-star hotels, that these developers are very innovative and they're keen to enter the global markets, create a global profile through this new technology layer that we offer in partnership with our partners. So it's very exciting. They have no other opportunities rather than us. There's no competition, at least in our region right now. And leveraging the technology of Zoniqx and great partnership and technology of StegX, we can form this great ecosystem of partners to collaborate and compete each other in this stage of RWA.
Extremely good, extremely good. See, guys, I mean, the main thing out here is this is an impromptu, kind of a video. We just thought probably, there's a stage is empty, so we should discuss what we discuss offline, and we should probably record it. So this is extremely like just a impromptu thing which we did. But just to add something about what both the amazing speeches what these guys have said. So this whole the movement of RWA tokenization is happening so rapidly, and they are actually the people who are actually pushing this to the next level in Europe, and probably now is going to be global as well, because these are securities. These are actually kind of compliant and based on the jurisdiction where the asset class is. I think this is going to be an amazing journey for all of us, and I wish all the best. Just one thing which I forgot to actually introduce is my name and my other founder's name as well. So my name is Sanjeev Birari, and I'm actually the co-founder and chief business officer of Earlier Assets. Now it's Zoniqx, and and my other founder and CEO is Prashant Kalangi. So we both have actually started this in 2017. So that's what it is. Thank you so much. And do you want to add anything for the last session?
No, everything fine. Maybe we ask Sanjeev also some questions.
Yeah, please do.
Yes.
So, Sanjeev, we are here at the Paris Blockchain Week, and you are one of the tech guys, one of the innovative people who are shaping this industry with your tokenization platform, Zoniqx.
Yeah.
So we are actually all partners now here on the stage from all our ecosystem. What do you think will the tokenization change in the future? What do you think how the future will look like with the tokenization in a best case scenario for us from this industry in 5 years and maybe in 10 years?
Excellent question. I always open my line in saying that this is exactly what when we started, I discussed this with Prashant as well, that actually what I see is that if I have $10,000 to spare, and I have to, kind of invest those $10,000. And being me, really like real estate, I would rather spend, say $2,000 in a tower in, a Salesforce towers in San Francisco, or $2,000 in some outlet on Champs-Élysées, which is giving a better returns, right? And a Burj Khalifa for that matter. And I can actually own those assets which I've never used to own earlier, or never had an actually opportunity for anybody to own. Now think about it, like BlackRock is actually doing the best of the best returns on their investments assets, which is available to not to the institutions only, but to the ultra HNIs who could probably afford to have those for 10,000 or 20,000 entry point, where they could probably get around 7 to 8% of returns, which is quite phenomenally high. And that is exactly what I see is, and this is going to be a low code, no code. See, technology is pushing this so well, and that's one of the reasons that we are trying to make it so available to anybody that think about it, like you as an issuer should not be thinking about technology, because we are the ones who are actually spending almost 7 years in building these technologies so nicely and, to make it available that it's just one click that asset should be there on chain.
And in 10 years, how will it look like?
10 years is going to be like it's a no-brainer for anybody to actually even create, kind of a marketplace, because the marketplace there'll be asset-specific, domain-specific experts like you guys are creating those marketplaces. Because I see you guys are, the domain experts in that particular knowledge, where, that particular sector where you are actually pushing this space. And that is exactly what I see. We are actually being very specific on our technology experts. You guys are experts in that particular domain, which is like you in that region where nobody has thought of doing this. He has an asset management experience, so well, in a very high experience. You are putting this, to the next level. So you are refining the whole process in a better way. This is what I see.
Let me ask you one question.
And how do you see it in 10 years?
In 10 years, I'm very bullish. on tokenization, especially in my region, where there is no infrastructure, there's no investment opportunities. But of course, there's a lot of work that needs to be done by all of us together in partnership with each other and completing each other. Now, my question to Sanjeev, like, a lot of investors ask me quite often, like, how are you going to find demand? And we all acknowledge that demand. How do we find demand? How do we find these big investors, qualified investors, to actually invest in a compliant way into our marketplaces? Now, my question is, I'm a little bit aware about the smart connect inside of the Zoniqx. Maybe you can talk a little bit about how you can make all different parties work together, share the supply, share the investor bases, for all of us to succeed together.
Yeah. So see, there is a short answer and there's a long answer, right? I don't want to explain the whole thing in terms of the processes concerned, but the biggest problem in this space is, especially with real estate, is liquidity. I mean, traditionally we've been having the same problem. We've been facing the same problem. Today is the same problem is there. Of course, using tokenization, you are actually making that particular problem solvable. The reason to that is because, and how we are doing it is we have created a first product to put your assets on chain called TPaaS, Tokenization Platform as a Service. Now, once you put the assets on chain, those tokens have been issued. Somebody has to invest in those tokens. Now, we are creating a secure connect, which is a global liquidity rails. Those rails are going to be connecting your sales side to a buy side. And a buy side consists of almost dozens of actually, kind of entities. And those entities, which is like family offices, hedge funds, broker-dealer networks, ATSs, decentralized exchanges, all of these would like to invest in digital assets. Today, those digital assets, which is I'm talking about real-world assets, are not there anymore. It's because the industry is evolving. People like you are coming. Now, if I only see StegX is actually going to be onboarding, their projection is at least 50 asset managers. 50 asset managers consist of at least $1 billion of real estate is going to be tokenized over the next 3 quarters. So I'm seeing the moment we actually create a sale side, there is definitely going to be a demand going to get created on a buy side. So this is, that's the reason I said there's no short answer or a long answer to it. The fact of the matter is, today there are certain issuances have already happened on chain, and the buy side is proven that there is already, they've invested in those tokens. And that is exactly what we need to highlight, that this technology is proving the actual use case. That the issuance has already been done, people have already purchased those tokens, and the liquidity got created. This is what my answer is.
Maybe I want to add, when you want to find liquidity, you need to go where the liquidity is, where the people are already looking for assets. So it also means you need to collaborate on a global scale with other licensed players. And that's what I'm working on a lot. I constantly speak with a lot of players from the whole world in order to find collaborative approaches where we can cooperate with partners to list assets on their marketplaces, to get more visibility in different jurisdictions with different investors who are already clients, who are already using digital technologies. And on the other hand, it's also about showcasing your clients and my clients more assets from other regions, from other issuers, from other asset managers, in order to make everything much more interesting and much more accessible for everybody in the industry.
Okay. I think we should be done, man.
Yeah, we're
done.
Be done. And Henry, did it record?
Why did you move?